Hi students, and welcome to today's live IELTS class. My name is Adrian and I'm streaming to you from beautiful Victoria here on the west coast of Canada. I hope everybody is having a great week so far. Welcome Angel, Panchal, I like, Notiv, YouTube, Kolbir, Vishal. Nice to see many students in the class already. This lesson is presented to you by aehelp.com for academic IELTS success. Visit us there. And for the general IELTS, check us out at gieltshelp.com. That's generalieltshelp.com. On both of those websites, we have lots and lots of materials, practice exams, videos in HD, to help you improve your English and your communication so you can get these high band scores. Our academic IELTS website looks like this with the blue background. You can click that big red button to join our premium package. And when you do that, because today we will have a speaking class for speaking part 1, I want to show you where you can practice you're speaking with other students, other IELTS students for free. So when you're in aehelp.com or gieltshelp.com and you create an account, you have this student partner speaking. That's a free service. Or you can book a practice interview with an IELTS expert as well. The student partner speaking, you click on that, and then you will be directed to a new page where you will see lots of students waiting for somebody to chat with them. Right now you have Bhushan, Abdallah, Adib, and Siraj waiting for somebody to audio or video chat. So check that out. General IELTS, same idea, but it's specific to the General IELTS exam. Again, you can click that big red button to join the premium package. It is a one-time payment for lifetime access, and it's well worth it. We have thousands of students that we help every day. We are an official British Council IELTS registration center and certified agents. All right. So, as another feature, get our apps. Link the app to the websites. The apps are Academic IELTS Help, General IELTS Help. You can grab those apps from your Google Play or Apple App Store, and you can follow us on Instagram, IELTS_AE and GIELTS Help. If you have questions, send me an email, adrian@aehelp.com, and I will answer your questions in short notice. All right, everyone. We have lots of live classes coming up this week. Our schedule from today until the 12th. Right now, we have speaking part 1 practice, so this will be a speaking class. Make sure to speak and repeat. So, repeating your teachers and the English that you hear from native speakers and movies, repeating that is good practice to improve your speaking. Okay, so our schedule. We have speaking. Tomorrow we'll have task 2 for members. We'll do some listening with everyone. This schedule, you can find it on our YouTube community board as well. Okay, everyone. So IELTS speaking, for those of you who are new to the IELTS exam, the IELTS speaking is a face-to-face interview. Of course, COVID-19 has made this very challenging for the IELTS, so they introduced some computer-based interviews, but you still have to go to the exam center for all of your speaking, unless you're doing the IELTS indicator exam, which isn't really done much these days, as we're kind of going out of the COVID era, hopefully. The speaking interview is about 12 minutes, okay? They go pretty fast in your speaking interview. They have lots of candidates usually that they need to do the interview with. So They definitely do not waste time. You have your speaking interview at a different time than the other 3 sections, the listening, reading, and writing. Often on the same day, just at a different time, or sometimes the day before or the day after these other sections. And this 12-minute interview, it's 3 parts. Part 1, some general questions about you, introductions, takes about 5 minutes. Then part 2, you have to answer a cue card. And then part 3, some more specific questions. Today, we are focusing on part 1. And part 1 is basically you go in, you have to arrive 20 minutes before your scheduled speaking interview to do your registration. But I say arrive 1 hour before your speaking interview so you can get really comfortable, use the washroom, speak with other candidates in English who are waiting, maybe do some practice questions with them, okay? All right, so let's get into this. Eventually, once you get comfortable, you do your registration, the time passes, and then they will say, okay, go in for your speaking interview, or you get called in, and you will be met by an examiner. Do not worry about the examiner. Do not worry what they look like. Don't worry about their accent, if they speak Canadian English, London English, American English. It doesn't matter, okay? Just pay attention to yourself. Pay attention to your English communication, showing your highest level of English communication. That's all you should pay attention to. Okay, the examiner is going to meet you, and they'll start out with some warm-up questions. They'll say something like, what is your full name? Okay, so what is your full name? Right away, start with a nice full sentence answer. This is clear, polite communication. Okay. All right. And I can see many people in the chat already answering. So Sanem says, my name is Sanemdeep Kaur, and you can refer to me by my first name, Samandeep, or just call me Sanem. Okay, Sanem, it's a little bit complex. Try to be polite. Instead of saying you can refer to me, just say please call me. Okay, please call me. It's a little bit more polite. Okay, Ohi Pamma says my full name is Pawandeep Singh. My relatives call me Pawan, so you can call me that. Yeah, it's okay. Use a polite tone if you're saying you can call me that. Okay. Sharman says my given names are Sharman Rahman, and my surname is Sarah. Please call me by my surname as it makes me feel more comfortable. Your surname is Sarah? Really? That's a little bit interesting. It means it's your family name. I'm not sure, but it sounds a little bit off to me. Could be wrong. Hi, honey. Welcome, members. Fahim says, my full name is Fahim Redwan. Sir, please call me by my first name, Fahim. That's nice and polite. Okay. All right. So, yeah, full sentence. Always practice this in full sentences. So what is your full name? My given names are Samuel, Andrew, and my family name is Smithers. Please just call me Sam for short. Okay? All right. So again, repeat after me. During the introduction questions, you really want to sound smooth, natural, and comfortable as much as possible, okay? I'm sure most people are nervous at the beginning, but you want to start feeling comfortable. All right, so here we go. Repeat after me. What is your full name? My given names are Samuel Andrew, and my family name is Smithers. Please just call me Sam for short. Okay, Sam. The speaking has 3 parts. I will give you instructions for each. For part 1, I will ask you some questions to get to know you and some questions on a general topic. Let's begin. Before we continue any further, may I see your identification? You have to show them the identification that you used to register for the test, that you used during the registration when you got to the exam center. Usually it's your passport. Again, give a nice full sentence answer. So you're not just there for a chit chat, okay? This is not a little friendly chit chat. This is professional communication. All right. Charmin says, yes, certainly. Here's my passport that I used to register for this exam a couple of weeks ago. Please have a look. Yeah, that's great. That works nicely. It's Fluent. Okay. Rashika, welcome. Rashika says, here's my passport that I used to register for this exam. Please have a look. Okay, good. Nick Hill says, certainly, here's my passport that I used to register for the exam. Please have a look. Yeah, may I see? Of course. Here is my ID that I used for registration. Please take a look. Okay. So nice. Repeat after me. May I see your identification? Of course. Here's my ID that I used for registration. Please take a look. Okay, so don't just simply say yes and then with big round eyes, just go yes and then show it to them. Show your confidence, okay? Remind yourself to be confident. Remind yourself to be fluent with these first couple of easy questions, okay? So show your fluency right away. Okay, now, a couple more questions to get to know you better. How did you come to this exam? Okay, so with an intermediate level of English, you should be able to explain how you got to the exam center. Did you drive? Did you walk? Take the bus? Did your friend drop you off? How did you come to the exam? Angel says, I came by my car with my brother about an hour ago for this exam. Good. Angel, good use of the question. At the end you said for this exam or for my exam. It's good. It's a good idea to use the question. The question will help you build that fluency, okay? So using the question in the exam, in the exam, like I came to this exam by, or I arrived here to the exam center. So using the question even verbatim, meaning word for word, like I came to this exam, is okay. If you can paraphrase it, say it with different words, like I arrived to this test on foot. It took me about 20 minutes to walk here. I live about 3 kilometers from here. So if you can paraphrase it, great, you're going to get higher marks. But if you can't, if you just verbatim include parts of the question in your answer, you're still going to get a better mark because you're showing more fluency, okay? So it's good to use the question, all right? Okay. All right, I can't read the Cyrillic, but somebody says, I came to this test by car. My dad drove me. Okay. Ohi says, I came here on my legs. It's not my legs. I came here on foot. So close. It's not legs. It's on foot. Okay. A little bit lower down. Your foot, not your legs. Okay. Shani says, as this is currently a pandemic right now, public transport facilities are not available, so my father dropped me off. Okay. Yeah, a little bit clearer, Shakni, would be due to the pandemic, public transport is not available, so my father dropped me off. I came by car. Okay. Honey says, I came to this exam via metro. It took me almost an hour to get here. Mahi writes, I came here with my friend in his car. It took us 20 minutes to commute. Okay, careful not to be too wordy. So metro train is not necessary, honey. Okay, so I arrived to this exam about 40 minutes ago on foot. It took me about 25 minutes to walk here from door to door. My apartment is about 10 blocks from here, say. All right. So here's a version of the answer. Repeat after me. How did you come to this exam? I arrived to this exam about 40 minutes ago on foot. It took me about 25 minutes to walk here from door to door. My apartment is about 10 blocks from here. Okay. Okay, good. So next question. Do you have any hobbies? Very common question in part 1 of the IELTS. Make sure that you've practiced answering this question in many different ways. Give a clear answer, explanation, and example. So do you have any hobbies? Okay. Fahim Redwan says, well, everyone has their own leisure pursuits and mine is reading. The book I'm reading at the moment is Godfather by the renowned author Mario Puzo. It's a classic, and I recommend it. Yeah, very good. Absolutely, it is. Okay, Fahim, good. Instead of starting with, well, everyone has their own leisure pursuits, it's okay. It's a little bit awkward because I'm asking about your hobbies, and stating the obvious is not the best way to have a high grade in the speaking. So it is not a good idea to state the obvious for IELTS answers. Okay, so examples of this are like, well, everyone has their own leisure pursuits. Mine is. Okay. Or another example would be like, I have lots of different hobbies, but my favorite pastime activity is. Okay, so these are kind of just stating the obvious. Stating the obvious is not a good answer because the examiner feels that students memorize these to kind of falsely improve their speaking scores. So they waste time that you could use for more quality communication. And that's why you will probably get a lower mark than if you just use some better strategies for your speaking interview. So examiners, they're not dumb. So So it wastes valuable time that could be used for quality communication. So just be really careful about that. Be mindful about that. So don't make those kinds of statements. Okay, those kinds of general stating the obvious. Okay, so don't state the obvious. All right. Okay. So Mehboob says, yes, I have many hobbies, but my favorite hobby is exercising, playing, and gossiping with friends. So Mehboob, that's a perfect example of what I just said, stating the obvious. You should say, my favorite hobby is exercising. I'm into fitness because I like that it gives me lots of energy and I stay healthy and strong. Yesterday, I went to the gym for 2 hours. And then I played football with my friends for an hour in the evening, okay? So Mehboob, that's a better answer that I just showed you there, all right? Zahid says, well, over the course of time, my hobbies have changed a lot. Currently, my main hobby is to pursue IELTS lessons through YouTube. It's been 2 months since I got habitual at practicing English. Okay, Zahid, not bad. Again, you're kind of stating the obvious. So lots of these stating the obvious type answers. Be really careful with that. Okay. Sonia Magan says, yes, I do a couple of activities in my free time, depending on how much time I actually have. I'm an avid reader. I also love cooking new recipes and doing terracotta painting. Okay. That's a nice answer. Honey says, my hobbies are reading books, table tennis, and running. Currently, I'm reading a book by Dan Brown, which is called Angels and Demons. And yesterday, I played table tennis for an hour in the evening. Very good, honey. Yeah, Angels and Demons is a pretty good mystery book. Of course, the Da Vinci Code is the next one after by Dan Brown. Okay. All right. Yeah, thank you, Unkit, for letting me know about that. I'll make it a bit more visible. There we go. Maybe I'll shrink it a little bit, and it'll be better. There. Okay. So, do you have any hobbies? Yes. I have a couple of pastime activities that I love to engage in. I like going for runs in the morning, as this gives me lots of health and energy for the day. As well, when I'm feeling a bit low on energy, I like to watch documentary movies. Just yesterday, I watched A Life on This Planet by David Attenborough, something like that. Okay. So again, answer, explain, example. Here we go. Do you have any hobbies? Yes, I have a couple of pastime activities that I love to engage in. I like going for runs in the morning, as this gives me lots of health and energy for the day. As well, when I'm feeling a bit low on energy, I like to watch documentary movies. Just yesterday, I watched A Life on This Planet by David Attenborough. It was really entertaining. Okay, so answer, explain, example, use the question. That is your best strategy for fluency and for high scores. Using template, memorized leading expressions is not effective. Okay, so avoid that. All right. Okay, everyone. So that's how you want to do it. Okay. Here we go. Now, the examiner will introduce the topic of part 1. And again, part 1 is about you. So make sure to remember that you have to speak about yourself, not people, not your neighbor Frank, but yourself. I, me, my. Okay? So the examiner will say, okay, let's talk about walking. How often do you go for a walk? So give me a nice full sentence answer for this one. How often do you go for a walk? Arda says, I go for a walk with my dad and my dog in a small forest, far from the stress of the city. It also keeps us fit and healthy. Last Sunday, we went for a walk only with my dad because my dog was sleeping. All right, Arda, not bad, except you don't answer the question. The question is, how often do you go for a walk? Does that mean you go every day, or 3 times a week, or 2 times each day? So give a very clear answer. Always, often, rarely. Rashika says, I usually go for a walk in the evening every weekday. I would say 5 times a week. Just yesterday evening, I walked for 2 hours around the Columbia River. It helps me to maintain my weight and stay in a positive mood. Okay, Rashika, very good. Nice. So that's your answer, explain, example. Amanjot Kaur says, well, my daily routine includes walking for 30 minutes in the morning. I usually walk in the evenings in my backyard when I'm feeling a bit sad or a bit under the weather. Okay, Amanjot, the end of that is a little bit unclear. Fahim says, I usually walk with my dad 3 times a week. It helps me keep fit and lighten my mood. Nice. Yeah, so there's an explanation, right, of why you like to walk 3 times a week. Very good. Saswati says, walking is a great exercise. As I'm a fitness freak, I walk for an hour every day, which is a part of my daily routine. I go for walks at 6 o'clock in the morning on the trail nearest to my home, which is just 10 minutes away. All right. Saswati, good. Shreya, good to see a new member chiming in. Shreya Sharma says, every day I wake up early for a walk so that I stay healthier and enjoy life. I usually walk on the road early morning because I have fresh air and there's not a lot of traffic, right? So if you're walking on the road early morning, many people do it because they can avoid rush hour. Okay, very nice. All right. Kutan says, walking is good for health as it helps to reduce stress and fat and gives us strength. Okay, Kutan, you're not answering the question. The question is, how often do you go for a walk? How often do you go for a walk? If you do not answer the question, students, even if you're using perfect English, you're getting a low score because the examiner doesn't know if you just memorize some topics on walking and saying whatever you memorize. So I frequently go for walks. I would say a minimum of 30 minutes to an hour each day. In fact, I have a pedometer app on my phone that tells me my average steps in a day are around 9,000. In this way, I stay active and fit. Yesterday, I went for a lovely walk around the small lake near my home. Okay, so there's your Band 9 answer. Again, you have to be fluent when giving answers like this. If you get stuck, if you stop, the examiner might interrupt you because they realize that you're searching for words or maybe going off topic. So here we go. Repeat after me. How often do you go for a walk? I frequently go for walks. I would say a minimum of 30 minutes to an hour each day. In fact, I have a pedometer app on my phone that tells me my average steps in a day are around 9,000. In this way, I stay active and fit. Yesterday, I went for a lovely walk around the small lake near my home. Okay, good. Next question. Where do you usually walk? Okay, again, all about you. So answer about yourself. So where do you usually walk? Okay, let's have some answers for that. Nice to see lots of students in the class. Okay. So, Mahi says, there are beautiful parks in the vicinity of my house. Usually, I walk there with my wife in the evenings. Gives us a good chance to chat, connect, and discuss what we did in the day. Okay, Mahi, very good. So you go to the beautiful parks in the near vicinity. Nice. All right, I gave some extra information there. Just so you can practice. Students, when I give some corrections and feedback, this video is recorded so you can check later. Just mark the time. So right now it's 31 minutes. So Mahi, you can go back to the 31-minute mark and check the answer that I gave, okay? Nick Hill says, as I mentioned earlier, I go for a stroll or sometimes for a run in the nearby park every now and then. However, nowadays I go for long runs on the road as it has less traffic in the morning. Okay, Nick Hill, remember we're talking about walking, not running, so don't change the topic, okay? All right. Let's take another one. Idris says, actually, I work as a resident teacher at school. I walk around the field of the school while my students play on the playground. I walk around them. That's really great exercise. Yeah, I bet it is if you're doing that every single day. Zohra says, I enjoy staying in shape and as I don't have much time to exercise, I try to walk regularly every day, about half an hour from my work to my home. Okay, so good. You walk to your workplace. Very nice. Yeah, walking's good. Okay. Nodirbek says, I'm in luck because there's a lake near my home. It gives me a chance to go for a walk on the trail that goes around it with some motivational music. And this keeps me happy and fit. Okay, Nodirbek, a little bit confusing on the end. I changed it, so pay attention to that. Muhammad says, this is Muhammad Saeed Öztürk, says, I usually walk on the bicycle road that goes along a small river near my home. Everywhere in my village, there's greenery, and this is an advantage for me for going for strolls. Okay, very good. So, where do you usually walk? Aside from walking around the lake near my home, I also take any opportunity to walk to work or to the grocery store near my home whenever I need to buy some food. I find that in this way, not only do I stay in shape, but I also decrease my carbon footprint. I mean, instead of using my car. Okay. So where do you usually walk? Aside from walking around the lake near my home, I also take any opportunity to walk to work or to the grocery store near my home whenever I need to buy some food. I find that in this way, not only do I stay in shape, but I also decrease my carbon footprint, I mean instead of using my car, right? So here, what I'm telling the examiner, carbon footprint basically means like how much of the planet I'm using up. Driving a car, burning fossil fuels, you're leaving more of a carbon footprint. Okay, carbon footprint, you can think about it like the amount of pollution that we create in our daily existence. So here, the word usually is paraphrased by take any opportunity to. So I'm using a phrasal paraphrasing here, take any opportunity to, instead of usually. Okay, so one more time. Aside from walking around the lake near my home, I also take any opportunity to walk to work or the grocery store near my home whenever I need to buy some food. I find that in this way, not only do I stay in shape, but I also decrease my carbon footprint. I mean, instead of using my car. So here, I'm using some nice connectives, especially the correlative conjunction. So not only, but also. All right. And notice how I'm also connecting with the previous answer. So in my last answer I said that I like to walk around the small lake near my home. And here, aside from walking around the lake near my home. So making that connection between my answers. It's a really good way to improve your coherence in your communication, which will definitely lead to higher band scores. Okay, so keep that in mind. Okay, next question. And be ready for this kind of what I would call an oddball question on the IELTS exam. Okay, it's not something you hear every day. So, do you like to walk at a fast or slow pace? And then why? Of course, they're expecting that you explain yourself. Do you like to walk at a fast or at a slow pace? And why? Okay. And again, sometimes IELTS has these questions that are like, really? What kind of a question is that? All right. So we've got lots of answers coming. Mahi says, I prefer to walk at a fast pace because it is very fruitful to burn calories and stay in shape. I usually cover 5K in 30 to 35 minutes, and this helps me to burn a minimum of 300 calories. Yeah, wow. That's very fast walking, Mahi. 5 kilometers in 30 minutes. It's almost more of a jog. Rashika says, I like to walk at a fast pace because when we're walking fast, we need more energy as well as burning more calories. This is helpful for me to maintain a healthy lifestyle. Yesterday, I walked very fast for an hour along the Columbia River. Very nice. Okay, Rukshar says, I usually distribute my pace. I start with small steps with a slow phase, and when my body starts to warm up, I try to walk faster, keeping my heart rate in check. Rukshar, very good. So you have kind of a change in your pace, right? From starting slow to then walking fast. No Dear Beck says, actually, I'm good at running fast, but when I go for a walk, I prefer walking slowly because according to some article, it helps to make good blood circulation, and so I obey this kind of advice. Okay, No Dear Beck, sure, that works. Again, careful with your word order. Teffy de la Cruz says, it depends on where I'm going. If I'm going to work, definitely at a fast pace, but if it's the weekend, I like to walk at a slow pace to enjoy the scenery. Okay, Teffy, that makes sense, right? So depends on the situation, maybe depends on your energy. If you have to make an appointment and you're going to work or maybe to the dentist office, you're walking quickly. But if it's the weekend and you're enjoying a casual stroll with friends, you might slow your pace so that you can enjoy the scenery and the conversation. Very good, yeah. So I enjoy both. Whenever I'm walking for exercise or to get to an appointment, I walk at a fast pace. Like this morning when I came to this exam. However, if I'm out with family on the weekend, I stroll much slower so that I can enjoy the conversations and the scenery. Okay. All right. So here we go. Do you like to walk at a fast or slow pace? I enjoy both. Whenever I'm walking for exercise or to an appointment, I walk at a fast pace, like this morning when I came to this exam. However, if I'm out with family on the weekend, I stroll much slower so that I can enjoy the conversations and the scenery. So stroll is a nice way to paraphrase the word walk. Stroll is especially useful when referring to a casual walk or to a slower walk. And again, using different kinds of grammar in your responses. I walk at a fast pace, like this morning when I came to this exam. It's conditional, and it's also connecting to my previous sentences, right? So remember that very early question, how did you come to this test? And I said that I walked to this exam. So keep in mind your conversation, right? It was this question here, how did you come to this exam? I arrived to this exam 40 minutes ago on foot. It took me 25 minutes to walk here. So that was an early question. Keep in mind the whole conversation when you're in the interview. And again, connect to other answers. You'll get a better mark, okay? All right. Next question. What do you like to wear on your feet when you go for a walk? Okay, answer this question again. Nice and clear, full sentence answers. So, what do you like to wear on your feet when you go for a walk? Welcome to the class, Angelo. All right? Yeah, so expect these kind of uncommon questions, okay? Alex Joseph says, well, that's an interesting question. I like to wear Adidas Freak shoes when I go for a walk. It not only helps me to reduce impact, but also it's soft on the sole of my foot. Ankle support. So if you have shoes that hold your ankles, it gives ankle support. And the hit of your heels onto the ground, it's the impact. Okay, impact of your feet on the ground. Okay. All right. Rashika says, when I go for a walk, I like to wear my Nike sneakers on my feet because they're comfortable and convenient. Apart from that, I've experienced that it's resistant and long-lasting in comparison to other brands. Okay, good. So again, what do you like to wear on your feet when you go for a walk? Nasara says, I like to wear sneakers and casual clothes while walking. I want to feel relaxed and avoid shoes that might result in pain. Okay. Sarah, what do you like to wear on your feet? Okay, so not your full attire, but on your feet. So what do you like to wear on your feet? Shreya says, I prefer sports shoes while walking because it helps me to feel comfortable and enhances my running and walking ability by also providing support for my feet. Yeah. Mike says, I love to wear my comfy sports shoes from Nike. This pair was gifted to me by my father on my last birthday. And they're not only comfortable, but they also look great, right? Fashion. Okay. So most of the year, I like to wear my Asics sneakers because they are both comfortable and stylish. They have a nice blue color to them with yellow highlights. However, in the summer, I like to wear my Teva sandals because they allow my feet to breathe and not get sweaty. And they have a relatively good ankle support. Okay. So here's a nice complex answer. Again, don't talk too long or the examiner will cut you off, but as long as you stay fluent and on topic, they will allow you to complete ideas as in this case. So here we go, everyone. Repeat after me. What do you like to wear on your feet when you go for a walk? Most of the year, I like to wear my Asics sneakers whenever I go for a walk, because they are both comfortable and stylish. They have a nice blue color to them with yellow highlights. However, in the summer, I like to wear my Teva sandals because they allow my feet to breathe and not get sweaty, and they have a relatively good ankle support. Okay, fantastic. Have your walking habits changed in the past 10 years? If yes, how? So in your part 1 questions, the last two questions will be a little bit more complex. Really pay attention to the grammar, catch the complex grammar. Okay, so here it's present perfect. Have your habits changed? Okay, have your habits changed? So make sure to use the present perfect right away. So when you see this kind of a question or when you hear this question, start with, okay, yes, they have. Or no, they haven't. Okay. So by starting this way, you show the examiner immediately that you've recognized the present perfect nature of the question and you are responding accordingly. So yes, they have, or no, they haven't. And then you can add more present perfect and you can add the rest of it, but immediately start with that present perfect response. Okay, so yes, they have, no, they haven't. Okay. So controversially yours, say yes, they have. I now prefer walking on higher places or higher elevations so that I get more of a quad workout, I guess. That's what you're saying. Okay, so add that present perfect. Okay. Charmy Seth says, I will probably say yes. They have. Okay, Charmy, add the they have. Show that you recognize the present perfect. Okay, so I would probably say yes, they have. Back a decade ago, I was not so active as I am now. I was more into indoors and rarely went out for a walk. Nowadays, I have been going for walks at least 4 days a week. As I mentioned earlier, I have been going for walks. Add the present perfect, Charmy. This is a tip for everybody. You're going to get a better band score. Okay. Potato Op says, well, compared to 10 years ago, my walking habits have changed a bit. I was walking more moderately at that time, but these days I'm walking faster than before because I know that getting a sweat on will help me to stay in shape. No dear Beck, just one time, please, in the chat. Okay, don't spam the chat. Don't keep copy pasting. Kuldeep says, yes, in a period of a decade, I believe that I have started walking more quietly and smartly with a straight neck. Also, I walk faster than ever. So obviously my walking style is much more noticeable these days, has become more noticeable. Kuldeep has become. Present perfect, okay? Angelo, answer the question that we're currently on, please. Okay. All right, I cannot read the Cyrillic, but the answer is starting correct. Yeah, they have a lot. And one example of that would be the treadmills. While a decade ago, treadmills had not been available, I have been jogging no matter what the weather was like. Okay. Good. So you're using the present perfect. Very good. Yes, they have. Okay. So right away, present perfect. Yes, my walking has changed much over the past decade. I have become much more self-conscious of my walking style, making sure to roll off the ball of my feet and to keep straight back with my shoulders pulled back. I have been walking much more consistently than ever before. Okay. So have your walking habits changed in the past 10 years? If yes, how? Yes, my walking has changed much over the past decade. I have become much more self-conscious of my walking style, making sure to roll off the ball of my feet and to keep a straight back with my shoulders pulled back as well. I have been walking much more consistently than ever before. Okay, so notice really importantly here that because the question is present perfect, have your walking habits changed? I show present perfect as much as I can. So they have changed. They have become much more self-conscious. Okay, I have been walking much more consistently. So showing present perfect, that will really help you to get better band scores by reflecting the grammar of the question that the examiner is asking you. Okay, everyone, so I will leave this last question for you. If you could walk around any place for an hour, where would you go and why? Think about your answer. You can record your answer on your phone. Make sure it's in MP3 format. And then you can send it to me by email for a score estimate. Just to get an idea of your band score, a rough estimate. Okay. My email is adrian@aehelp.com. Tomorrow, everyone, we will have more classes. For our YouTube channel members, we will start a new task 2, writing, okay? And then after that, we'll do listening part 1 and part 2 exercise with everyone. Make sure, students, to check out our websites. This is generalieltshelp.com or gieltshelp.com. You can click that big red button to join our premium package. It's a one-time payment for lifetime access, so it's well worth it. And our academic IELTS website, I'm already logged in, looks like this. And we have videos, practice exams, lots more. You can practice your speaking with other students. Again, just click that big red button to join us there. I hope you enjoyed this class. I saw lots of great answers in the chat. That was fantastic. Make sure to practice. Practice is key. Okay, so practice with other students. You can do that on the websites as I showed you. Much love back to you, Kyber, and everybody who's watching. Hopefully I will catch all of you tomorrow for some more IELTS, helping you to reach your goals and dreams. I'm Adrian, signing out from beautiful Victoria here on the west coast of Canada. Have a lovely rest of your day. If it's late in your country, then sweet dreams. Bye for now, everyone.